anyone was unable to make it, and the recording has started. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is our third or fourth year of running the senior parent program, and usually we begin the program by saying, wow, thank you all for coming to the school. To what dedication it takes to have the parents of 12th grade students coming to the school. You must be tired of coming to the school by 12 years of high school, but one of the changes in the current world is you don't actually have to come to school for this program. So we don't say that, but I will say thank you for taking the time out, for making time for this program and showing an investment in your children. One of the things that I can tell you already at the start of this year, many of the teachers have commented to me about this particular 12th grade, and they really see a wonderful group of students, dedicated, responsible, pleasant, respectful, and it doesn't come from nowhere, as they say. So thank you, parents, for giving us a great group of kids. We're really excited to work with them in their last year of high school. And really, that's a segue into tonight's program. Tonight's program is just a brief what to expect on the road ahead. Many people hear lots of different things about what the 12th grade experience is like, and some of the things are true and some are not, and we kind of want to make sure it's very clear what to expect for the coming year. And in particular, this year is going to be a different 12th grade year than any other, because this year is going to be different in a lot of different ways due to the current health situation. So just quickly, I'm going to run through our agenda tonight, and then we'll get to it. So tonight's program is basically the following 7 items. Number 1, to meet with key personalities that will deal with your students. 2, to talk about the added responsibilities 12th grade students have at the Yeshiva Flatbush. Talk about some areas of opportunity, potential pitfalls, the costs that might be involved with the year, and take time for questions and feedback. So that's our program. Let's get right to it. So let me start by introducing you to the key personalities. Each one is going to say a few words at some point tonight, but first I'm just going to introduce them. I will be your grade principal for the year. You may be familiar with our grade principal system. Each one of the principals is responsible for a particular grade. Ms. Hidary was for the 9th grade, Ms. Bacon for the 10th, I was for the 11th, and I round them off with the 12th as well. So anything that's principal level stuff, I will be dealing with the children. So nice to meet you, and looking forward to working with your kids. Rabbi David Galpert is the assistant administrator. If I have to introduce you to David Galpert at this point, then you haven't been paying attention. Rabbi Galpert wears lots of hats and does a great many things. And one of the things that he does really greatly is to deal with 12th grade and work as our grade advisor. So I'm really excited that he's going to work with the 12th grade boys. He is joined by another person who you should know by now, which is Ms. Hani Zoltzman. She was the grade advisor for the females last year, and she continues to work with them this year. She develops great relationships with them and really does a phenomenal job of leading the grade. Ms. Miriam Wielgus is our Israel guidance for the girls, and she is joined by Rabbi Avi Harari, who is going to be the Israel guidance counselor for the guys. Ms. Amber Long is our director of college guidance, who no doubt you've met through the many programs and things that you have seen already from college guidance. But obviously over the next couple of months, this is prime time and crunch time, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Dr. Eti Mizrahi, as always, leads our guidance department, and she actually leads an entire team, and they're really dedicated and putting in a tremendous amount of effort. And I want to say thank you to her and her team extra this year, because with all that's going on, they have taken on an incredibly extra load to check in on the mental, emotional, and academic well-being of our students, and they've done a phenomenal job. So I want to say thank you to them. That's really the key people that you're going to meet this evening, and that are going to work with your children over the course of the year. So I tell the 12th grade students a very interesting fact that doesn't always register with them until a few weeks into school, although some of them are already feeling it today. And what I tell them is that the most difficult semester in all of high school is the 7th semester, the beginning of your senior year. Many of our students think, oh, once you get to be a senior, you coast, you cruise, it's easy. And part of what feeds that perception is because their last view of senior year is the 12th graders who are out the door in June last year. And their assumption is that that's what it's like at the beginning of the year, and that is a very fallacious assumption. It is definitely not the case. Actually, at the start of senior year, a number of things are significant. Number one, their courses very much count, and I would say this year their courses count even more because of the unknown of the college guidance process and what's going to happen. So their grades matter a lot. But in addition to that, some other things start to happen, like the college guidance, like the college guidance process, which is not a few clicks. It's something that involves a lot of their time, and in general, their lives start to get more complicated because they're getting closer to adulthood and taking on more responsibilities. So because of that, actually, this semester that's coming up that they've just started now is the most difficult in all of high school, and it's not surprising, and we're already hearing a little bit for your 12th grader to say, hey, this is not what I expected. Hey, where's all this work coming from? Hey, this is really stressful. So that's something to expect and to understand in the first couple of weeks and months of the senior year. So I want to turn now to one of the key aspects of this, which is the post-high school year in Israel, which is a conversation which already begins for our students. And for this, I'm going to turn to Ms. Miriam Wielgus and Rabbi Avi Harari to just say a few words. Ms. Wielgus, if you don't mind unmuting yourself, do you need me to allow you to share the screen, make you a co-host?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now. Hold on.
Thank you.
You're there.
Okay, we're going to share our screen. Okay. Give me one moment for a moment, please. Hello, everybody. Can everybody see the screen, Rabbi?
You're good.
I'm good. Okay. Let's make this a little bit bigger if I can. Okay, I just want to first echo Rabbi Beta's words. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying teaching the seniors this year. They are a wonderful group of kids. They are respectful, they are sweet, they are smart, they are absolutely delicious, and they are rising to the challenge of the pandemic era in amazing ways. So kol hakavod to all of you. Why spend a gap year in Israel? I know that's probably the last thing on people's minds now. Israel, are you kidding? Let's get through this pandemic first. But the bottom line is that the Israel process, particularly for the girls, does start earlier in the year. And I know what a lot of you are thinking here. A lot of you are thinking, are you kidding? A gap year in Israel? There are a whole lot of reasons why I'm not sending my kid to Israel, even though we all know Yeshiva Flatbush is a strong supporter of the state of Israel. It's a nice thing, but for my kid, maybe not. So I know what you're thinking. Some of you are thinking, are you kidding? Pandemic. Number two, I don't even send my kid to sleepaway camp and you expect me to send him or her to Israel for a year? Number three, I'm nervous about security. Number four, I'm afraid my child will get too religious. I'm happy the way he or she is now. I don't want them flipping out. How can I afford the year in Israel? Are there scholarships available? So these are all concerns that Rabbi Harari and I will address in meeting with you this year. We're here to talk to you about it. We know that you'll miss him or her too much. Yes, that's another objection. But here are our top 10 reasons to send your child to Israel for a gap year. Number one, spending a year in Israel strengthens your child's Jewish identity. Next year, they're going to go to college or possibly the year after. Going to Israel is hands down the best way to prepare your child for the challenges of the college campus. Number two, laundry, guys. How many of you have kids who actually do their laundry? Sending your kid to Israel will enable them to mature and gain a healthy degree of independence. I can't tell you, having sent 5 kids to Israel, that's probably my top reason. Get your kids to pitch in, get them to mature and grow up. Moreover, your child's mind will be stimulated by the most exceptional teachers in the world. They will get the tools to enable them to learn for a lifetime. Your child will also get to explore our homeland. They will get to tour the length and breadth of Eretz Yisrael, and all the stories they've been learning for 12 years of school will come alive before their eyes. And finally, We're so blessed to have our homeland back, to watch the ingathering of the exiles, to watch a country only 70 years young with a history of thousands of years being rebuilt. Israel is our home, our history, our people. What greater way to show our appreciation to Hashem for the miracle that is the state of Israel than by allowing and encouraging our children to live and learn in Eretz Yisrael. And I just want to add, pandemic-wise, the pandemic will be over. So please, God, I'd love to meet you. Reasons 6 through 10, we still got a few more reasons. Let's continue the conversation. Please stay in touch with myself and Rabbi Harari. We're willing to meet with you over Zoom, in person, anytime that you are available to discuss the options. And we look forward to working with you. Thank you so much. Rabbi? Done. I'm done. Rabbi Harari?
Hi, Mrs. Wialgas. How are you?
Good, I'm done.
Wonderful. Do you want me to speak?
Sure.
Okay.
Wait,
Well, hi, everyone.
was everyone able to see the Prezi?
Yes, we saw
Okay,
everything.
right.
Okay, well, what do we want me to add to everything? I just want to reiterate that Mrs. Wialgas, what Mrs. Wialgas said about the importance of going to learn in Israel for the year and all the things that are to be gained from doing so, and looking forward to meeting with all the boy students in working toward that, in determining and finding the right place for you, and dealing with any circumstance, any situations that may arise. But I want to really and have in the past meet with each one of you individually. And if you don't reach out to me, not to worry, I'll come and reach out to you and force you to meet with me. So looking forward to doing so with each of you in this year ahead.
At the end of the program, Ms. Wielgus and Rabbi Harari will be available for some questions on their own individual Zooms. So if you're interested in speaking with them post the program, Mrs. Wielgus, you are M. Wielgus?
Yes.
So you can just see how to spell her name from the box that's there, and just put the initial first. That's the Zoom code. And Rabbi Harari, are you A. Harari?
A. Harari. A-H-A-R-A.
Right, so the last name is spelled on the screen, and put the A before, and you can do that for the Zoom. Great, thank you guys. Okay, I'm now going to turn to Ms. Amber Long to speak briefly about the college application process.
Good evening, everyone. I hope that you can hear me okay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Amber Long, Director of College Guidance, and I just want to thank you so much for your wonderful students. We are off to an awesome start to a year that is certainly like no other. There are going to be a lot of new and interesting things for us this year, but we are already so proud of the class of 2021, your seniors. This year, we have a full team of 6 counselors. We introduced you to Rabbi Eli Schwartz in the first College Corner of the year, and your students got to meet him last week during our senior assembly. We look forward to continuing to integrate him into the office, and he will be meeting with some of your students and helping support them through essay review and speaking about Jewish life on campuses to onboard him this year. So we're really excited to have a full team in our office. We're already so proud of your seniors this year because for the first time in at least my tenure at Flatbush, here it is, it's September 16th, and over a third of the class has already started at least one college application, and that has not happened before. We've always had goals to do things like this and get students really going and started early, but last night we hosted a first application workshop, and we focused on the CUNY. Over 60 students, or almost 60 students, I should say, showed up last night to start their CUNY application, which is really important for all of the students in the senior class. We're going to host 2 more of those workshops next week, so please encourage your seniors to look out for opportunities like that. Speaking of opportunities, last year, during our distance learning spring, we started a program that we also wanted to begin at a different point in the year, but distance learning made it possible for us to implement it during the quarantine time. And it was our Conversations with College Guidance. And it's actually an opportunity for you, parents, and all of the parents in the high school community to join us for more informal chats and opportunities to ask questions. We go for about an hour at different points. We schedule them and let you know when they're going to happen. Sometimes they're evening, sometimes they're early in the morning or during lunch. So please look out for those, because
I think we might have lost Amber for a moment there.
I think we lost her. Okay, if we get a chance, Amber Long will also be available for
hi,
a conversation.
did I
You're
get
back.
cut off?
Good.
I'm sorry.
You did. Go ahead. Go for it. Sorry.
Yes, I'm back. So I don't know where I got cut off, but I heard Rabbi Beta saying I will be available. I most certainly will be. But I wanted to just tell a little bit more about our roles in the process. We work together as a team to communicate with each other and support all of the seniors. So while your student has one assigned counselor, they will have the resources of all of us, and we share a lot of information amongst each other to help support all of the seniors through the class. So please, if you have questions or concerns about anything, don't hesitate to contact me or your student's counselor, or both, if you have questions or concerns. We share the responsibility of keeping students encouraged and rooting for them. Some of those conversations are difficult, and we know that there is a lot of work and stress, and we've shared that with them, but we also know that we want them to have fun and learn a lot about themselves through this process, and we want them to know and be confident that we're going to be rooting for them the entire way, and we're going to catch them when they fall and help them through every aspect of the process. That includes essay review, that includes making those final decisions, and everything in between. So we send a lot of important information and reminders in the College Corners. We encourage you to read those, have your seniors read them, and make sure that they're keeping in touch and keeping open lines of communication with their counselor. We look forward to supporting your kids. We really thank you for sharing them with us. They've been wonderful so far. I'll be available in my Zoom is MS as in Sam Long, Miss Long, and I will be available when we finish for the evening as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Really appreciate all the hard work that you're putting into our students. Okay, one thing that I want to put out there that I think is something that gets underlooked sometimes is that our students are all new drivers. For those that are driving, which is many of them, and for those that are not, they may be driving with other students. So this is something to keep in mind. There's like the pedestrian type things, like students who drive to school need to make sure that they recognize that driving in Brooklyn involves parking also, and that can lengthen your day greatly, especially around the Yeshiva Flatbush on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when alternate side makes life extremely, extremely challenging. So something to keep in mind, but also the important concept of the responsibility of driving as a responsible driver and what it means to have other people's lives in your hands so directly by operating a motor vehicle. So we do talk about this with the students, but it's certainly something that it's important for you to talk about as well. And it's just an added aspect of what makes life at this time a little bit more challenging, a little bit more stressful, as they're really scratching adulthood, and this is a key part of it. And that really, this development concept leads me to just turn for a moment and introduce Dr. Eti Mizrahi, who's just going to say a word or two about what the guidance department is doing specific to working with your students this year. Eti, b'chavod.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi Beta. Thanks, everyone, for joining. We know how busy life can be, especially these days, juggling so many things. I just want to echo what everybody's saying about how lovely it's been to see your children in our building. There's always a special energy at the start of the year, but now more than ever, I can't quite put into words how special it is to be physically in the building, to see your children, to see the energy there. And one of the things I'm hearing about your kids is just how invested they are in making things work and how invested they are in making this a good experience for everyone and for themselves. As always, the guidance department is available to you and also to your children. We plan to reach out to all of your children to remind them that we're here for them. Now more than ever, social emotional well-being and mental health is paramount. It's key to helping us get through this time. We've seen the resilience from your children, and we are so excited about that. We hope that they will continue building that, and we want them to know that we're here to support them through this process. Many of them have already been reaching out to us and scheduling appointments, so please just remember that we're here. I can always be reached at emizrahi@flatbush.org, and I'll also be available to speak with anyone that has any questions after the program tonight. Thank you.
Doctor, your Zoom code tonight is eMizrahi?
eMizrahi, yeah.
eMizrahi, excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the program, which kind of delineates opportunities that come up. You know, we talked about the challenges and the added stress points, but there are certainly a number of opportunities that come up over the course of senior year that are unique to senior, or mostly unique to senior. So for the first thing, I want to turn to Rabbi Galpert. Rabbi David, please take it away.
Good evening, everyone. It's really great to see everyone, at least here tonight, and it was great seeing all of your children the past couple of days in school, in person. It was really great to see everybody. And senior year is about, being the senior, being that upperclassman, being that role model for other students in the building. And the seniors have a unique opportunity to do that, to take on different leadership roles within the school. Now, obviously, it's going to look different this year, and there are different programs that are taking place. Some are unfortunately not able to take place. But what we've seen in only the last couple of days, we've seen many seniors who have taken that role to start new commissions, change different things about different commissions, clubs, and teams, and try to bring their leadership skills that we're trying to teach them into the school and they could bring to their lives. So we're ready to partner with them to be able to take on these leadership roles whenever it might be, allow for different opportunities, and we look forward to doing that this year.
Yeah, I just want to double on that and compliment some of the students. You know, it's been an amazing thing. You know, I know you've seen, from other schools, kind of letters being sent out about how people should conduct themselves. We haven't really done too much of that. And what's interesting is our student leaders themselves, the seniors, are actually walking around talking to their peers and to the lower classmen and saying, hey guys, we want to be in school. Let's do things the right way. And it's really, we couldn't be prouder of them in that regard. Next person that I want to speak is Ms. Hani Zoltzman, who's going to talk about the thrust of the way our students learn in 12th grade. Hani, bechavod.
So you have to unmute.
Sorry for this.
No, still muted. There we go.
The mouse moves by on its own, I guess. Okay. Good evening, and it's very nice to see the parents of our students. And it's a privilege for me also that I know the girls. I was their grade advisor last year, and I'm grade advisor again this year. And it makes a very special relationship that I carry on through the senior year and the last year in high school. And it's a pleasure to work with Rabbi Beda and Rabbi Galpert as well. We work together to make the learning a very good experience for the seniors. I'm myself very impressed with their curriculum and always urge them to take advantage of everything we offer them in senior year. So the electives, they get a very big variety of different electives that they could take advantage of, and choose the right one. I know some, are asking to leave one to go to the other one. We're going to work on it, but we're really trying to make them happy and enjoy what they're learning. We also have a program for the Judaic studies called Inquiry Bet Midrash that is during third and fourth period every single day. We have civics, very interesting curriculum. Now, I'm going to say two words that I practiced very much before I have to say them with my French accent: financial literacy. I hope you understood me. And that's a very nice curriculum that students have, and they learn really how to manage their money. I must tell you that they even complain to me that they have to learn how to write a check, that they don't even know how it looks. They told me, what is this antique thing that we learn to write a check? So they learn from everything, and I myself sat in the class, and it's a very interesting class. English, they learn how to write a resume, a college essay, halakha as well. We make it very relevant to them. The girls that I teach, I'm part of this curriculum. We teach the girls Hilchot Nida. We prepare them for marriage and the Jewish perspective in marriage and all the halachot attached to it. The boys are learning kashrut right now, and then they'll move on also to Hilchot Nida. And we really make it exciting. And when they come home and tell you they learned nothing, please understand they're learning a lot, and we're offering them a lot to learn.
Thank you, Ms. Olson. Now back to Rabbi Galper to talk about some of the end of year program. David, go ahead.
So speaking about the end of the year at the beginning of the year, especially during this current year, is a bit difficult. So to be honest, we're not sure what it's going to look like. Hopefully vaccine comes out soon and we're able to do everything we normally do. But we are planning, even from now, from the first week of school, we're planning what the last week of school is going to look like. And we want to make use of every single day. Our year goes until June. And senior year goes until the end of June. It does not end with preconceived notions. It ends at February or March or April. It really goes to June. And we have given, in the last couple of years, we've given all the seniors, and this we intend to do even this year, the opportunity to learn skills and learn things that they haven't done before. Last year, even on Zoom, we had over 60 seniors learn Excel in depth that they could use in business, in their lives. And I can't tell you the countless of graduates who have told me from previous years how it was so helpful for them to learn Excel, both in business and for college. And we give them these skills, these opportunities, things that they might not have learned in the past 3 years. And we try to have them walk away high school learning those practical skills as well. So even though I can't tell you what the end of year is fully going to look like, we're here to make sure that they're learning, they're engaging, and we're engaging them throughout the whole entire year, and that's through the end of June.
Thanks, David. Okay. Hani, you wanted to talk a little bit about this key part of the end of the year, the college credits? No? Okay, I got it. You were doing it?
Also, go ahead. Okay. Here we offer the students as well part of, of the learning, the opportunity that we give them to advance. We offer, AP exams that they get college credit towards, their like they could use them in college. And then we have the Jerusalem exam as well. That is it's accepted by many universities. It's an Hebrew and I would say also Judaic studies based knowledge that they could, they have to select that they want to take it. They have to choose they want to take it, but it does give them extra credits for college as well. And Rabbi Beda, if you want to add on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that this is a big part of what sets us apart and what makes the end of the year important. Most of our students are taking APs and the Jerusalem exam, which means that in the spring, they're not just in school in Flatbush, they're actually already in college. They're already working and earning towards college, which saves them time and money later on in their life. So it's an important part of the year. You'll hear more about it, but I strongly encourage you to have your children take these exams, which will allow them to get credit in college. They are, they're really prepared, and actually we just got the results of the Jerusalem exam and the AP exam from last year, and our students did really phenomenally well, and it really it makes a big difference. It can save tons and tons of money. And even in some instances, it's not true of the AP, but I could tell you about the Jerusalem exam. Students who don't take it in high school sometimes get to college and realize, wow, I should have taken it. They actually come back to school from college to come take the Jerusalem exam. So it's really important to keep it in mind. So I wanted to talk about some potential pitfalls that come up in the senior year. Really, it's you know, 2 or 3 small things, and most of them really haven't been a problem in the last couple of years. But I want to say it in the beginning to make sure that no one says, I didn't hear anything about this, I didn't know that this could be. The least frequent and least concerning issue, especially this year and especially what we've seen, is in years ago, I'm talking 5 and 10 years ago, some students didn't come to school. They took lots of days absent, and they took advantage of parents who, at 17 years old, didn't want to discipline their children and you know, kind of said, I can't tell a 17-year-old what to do. I can't tell them to come to school.
A senior prank.
Well, so what I would say is, look, we're pretty on top of attendance, and if students are missing days, you know, you're going to hear about it, and we're going to work together in order to make sure they're here. Because we've been really proactive about it, it's been a non-existent problem in the last couple of years, at least 2 or 3 years going back now. So I just wanted to put that out there as a potential pitfall. Second potential pitfall is slacking off grades-wise, and this is something that's very significant. You know, I mentioned that the 7th semester is the most challenging. That's the one we're currently in. The 8th semester is probably the least challenging because they're already most capable and the stakes are lower, but it doesn't mean the stakes are zero. What has happened more and more in the last number of years is that colleges are caring about what your children's grades are in the 8th semester. They want to see that final transcript, and they want to see that children are not only passing, but actually succeeding in the courses that they're taking. So the academic slide that a few, not many, but the academic slide that takes place in the spring is a potential pitfall. We're very on top of things. We really will be communicating and working with the students and with you if we're seeing anything. But that's a potential pitfall. And I can tell you more and more, and others on this group can certainly confirm this, students run the risk of losing a place in college, the registration in their classes, financial awards, and so on. There's a lot at stake with students making sure that they do what they need to do in the second half of the year. It's a lower bar than the first half of the year, but it's not a non-bar, and that's important. We'll talk more about that as we get to the second half of the year. And the third thing, which I'm happy to say hasn't been an issue in the last 2 years, and that we've really taken a very strong stance on, is an issue of a senior prank. We take it very, very seriously. I can't imagine that some of you haven't heard that in a few years ago, pranks were simply out of control, and we've taken a very strong stance, and I will tell you the stance is extremely strong now. Any involvement in any kind of senior prank, student runs the risk of being expelled. I just want to keep it simple and straight. In the year 2020 and 2021, no one needs to be warned about safety and security and health and so on and so forth. Everyone understands we're all in this together. That's the theme of our year, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Bazeh, and senior prank runs completely against that. We say it nicely to the students. We offer them lots of fun opportunities, and we're going to work on making sure that even despite whatever craziness that we have to deal with this year, we will offer them fun and sentimental moments. But at the same time, we have to be really clear and firm. There is no place for a senior prank in our school, and we will deal with it with the most severe of consequences. So advise your children from today. You're not involved. You're not there. You're not part of it. You're not celebrating it. You're not anything to do with it, because the school is going to take the strongest of strongest stances on that. So so that's the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to pitfalls. Next thing. Let's see. that's the last bit. But we're, you know, every day is an adventure by us at this point because it brings new and exciting experiences. But I have to tell you, just everyone's energy and excitement to work together to try and make sure that we can have school day by day, week by week is really invigorating. I am just awed and floored by the level of commitment, professionalism, creativity, and excellence that your children's teachers are showing on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis. I just wish everyone could come in and see how amazing what is going on is happening. I'm really looking forward to a great year. It's going to be different than what we normally have, but I think that our students really appreciate that they're part of something great, and we're going to continue to keep it that way. So if anyone has any questions, I'm going to stay on my Zoom, so I'll be here for any questions that anyone has for me. The others will each be open in their rooms. Maybe Rabbi Galpert and Ms. Zoltan,
Yeah,
you
Ms.
can stay on this
stay
one.
together.
You'll
Yeah.
stay on this one, but Ms. Long is at MSLONG. Ms. Wielgus is at MWielgus, MWIELGUS. Rabbi Harari at A Harari, AHARARI. I think I got that right. Dr. Mizrahi at E Mizrahi, EMIZRAHI. So beyond that, I wish everyone a pleasant evening and let's have a great year.
Should we go now, or are you going to take group
Yeah, I would
questions
go now.
first?
I would go now. I would go now to the rooms that you're in, and if people will join on to those rooms.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.